thanks for joining me today with Dyslexia Solutions. Today I want to talk to you about what it means to have a reading program that's structured, systematic, sequential, emotionally sound, and cumulative, which is what the science of reading expects when you're teaching reading, especially if we're teaching dyslexic children. But I want to ask you, how many of you put makeup in the morning on, and you have a system of how you put it on? How many of you have grandkids that come to the house and you have a system of what you do to put things away before the baby comes or the kids come? If you're watching pets, we watch our daughter's dogs when she's at work. So there's things we put away. So that's a system. So I want to talk to you about the structure of makeup, okay? So I know half my audience is women, half of them men, but men can apply this to their wives or daughters. But when I put my makeup on in the morning, we have, you have a cleansing routine, and then you have application routine, and then you have, you clean up. So if you use eyelash thickener, you're going to want that before you put your mascara on, okay? So that is, it's structured and it's systematic. Now, you can break away from putting the eyelash thickener on and still put the mascara on, and you're not going to really change too much how you look. So that's okay. So some of the systematic and sequential things can be eliminated. Sometimes when you have the time, you want to be sure you cover everything. But if you're in a hurry, you're going to cut some corners. So if I'm really, really tired at night and I want to take my makeup off, I have a way to take my makeup off. And then I have a regimen of a skin toner before I put my night cream on. Now, if I wanted to cut some corner and not put my skin toner on, do my skin toner, or there's two levels of night cream. There's a serum that I use first, and then I put a night cream. If I wanted to omit the serum, that'd be okay. If I wanted to omit the whole thing and just go to bed and just take my eye makeup off, that's okay too. What I'm trying to say is there's some systems that we have in our life that are structured, systematic, and sequential. Now, this is very interesting. I went to the dentist today, and I have a new hygienist. The other hygienist used to use her tools in a very systematic way, and I was expecting that today. And the new hygienist did the right upper, the right lower, the left inside, the left inside low, inside upper, left inside. It was just different. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And you know what it made me think of is, what if she forgets something? Because when something's structured and sequential and it makes sense, like you're going to go clockwise or you're going to go counterclockwise, you're going to clean the teeth on the outside and then clean the teeth on the inside. You're not going to forget something. But this new hygienist did upper, lower, on the outside, upper and lower. On the other side, upper and lower, but on the inside. But sure enough, then she did the outside, upper and lower, the other side, inside, upper and lower. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm glad she remembered everything. But that was her structure, and that's her system, and it works for her. And I don't know why her system works, and my old hygienist system worked for her. But as a client, you want to see structured, systematic, sequential. So when you're working with your child or your student and you keep the structures and the systems consistent, it's going to really help them be successful. So I was just thinking about when I put jewelry on, I do my necklace first. And if I take my necklace off, I'm always going to change my necklace and then put my earrings on. And then I put my watch on. But is it going to hurt if I put my watch on first and I put my earrings on next? No, it's not. That's not something that takes structure. Now, the system could be I'm putting my jewelry on. Okay. I'm going to put jewelry on in the morning. I'm going to take jewelry off at night. That's the system. But the sequential part of it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. So if you have a habit of taking your wedding ring off when you shower, like my husband does, he knows where it is. So he puts it right back on when he gets out of the shower. That is a system, but it's also more of a sequential routine. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense. And I want to show you what it looks like in reading. So when we start reading, we want to start with phonogram cards. I have them here. We have our phonogram cards. Okay. So the structure is we want to say the letter name and the letter sound. So this is B, B. However, when we introduce the letter for the first time, we're going to have a picture that goes with it. So the child will see ball, B, B, ball, B, B. So eventually the picture goes away, and the reward is it's the letter only, the card only. And then eventually we take the card away that gets known and we put a new card. So that is part of the system, is to teach phonics. The systematic sequential process is phonogram card, first with the picture, then the picture goes away. Then we have sound circles. Now the circles, oh, I have them here. Our circles have the students connect the sound to a shape, not yet a letter. So for example, ball, B, well, let's do an easy one. Bat, B, A, T. You're going to have 3 circles, and I'm going to put the vowel in a different color. So I'll put the B will be a pink, and the A will be an orange, and the T will be a pink. So, and then we point to it and we run our finger under it. And this is in one of my other videos if you want a lesson on using sound circles. After the sound circles, and sometimes I'll use these cubes, okay? It depends on what the word is, and if the child needs a little bit extra visual, I'll bring a cube out. After the sound circles, we're going to bring our letters out. So I have letters that I have spray painted the vowels. And so now we always want to tap it out with our fingers. Let's say B, A, T. And the child's going to pull down a B, an A, and a T. The child's going to take those letters out. Then we're going to point B-A-T and underline it, bat. So if you want to look at my video that teaches how to use letters, it's up there, all for free. So we've done the phonogram cards. We've done the sound circles. Now we've done the letters. The next we're going to do is reading. And I have a book that you have to purchase. It's called My 1B. You can actually purchase it on my teacher store under Orton Gillingham with Dr. Marianne Cintron. But the students will read letter combinations. And it starts with 2 letters, a vowel and a consonant, and then it's the consonant vowel. So there's visual and auditory discrimination that's taught when the child reads. And then we'll put 3-letter words. So you'll have a vowel, consonant, vowel, and we'll change the ending consonant. So these are exercises that we spend 10 minutes having the child read. Now, I use music with my reading program. So while the child's reading that, I'm playing my app in the child's left ear, which is classical music only. So it's going to strengthen the brain and enable the child to do this. I once had a child listen to music when I worked in the private setting. I had a child listen to music as he read the computer, and he could read it so easily. But the minute I took the music away, he struggled with reading from the computer. And it's the same as if he's reading from a book. And then I had this child connect, this was a fourth grader, I had him connect two columns of words with a highlighter, with a marker on a whiteboard. And he struggled finding the words that were associated. And he struggled with a jaggedy line when he finally found two words that would go together, like cat and dog, what were two animals or whatever. So when I put music in the left ear, he could find the associated words, house with door, mailbox with letter. I mean, he could connect them so easily. And that's what got my attention, that music played in the left ear has a profound impact on the brain. So we've done 4 steps. There's 9 steps to my program. We did the phonogram cards, we did the sound circles, we did the letters, and then we did the reading. Now we're going to take out a workbook. So my second graders through 4th grade have workbook 4. And this just starts with helping the child with rhymes, filling in the blanks. So for example, it says, what rhymes with mat? 2 words that rhyme with what? Okay, start with 2 words that rhyme with man, pan, can. And I've already taught that, or you could teach it now, that the rhyme means the ending sound. So the ending sound is the same. So and man goes to pan. P and pan goes to can. K and can. Rhyming words have that ending sound the same. So they're going to fill out the workbook, and I work with the workbook for 10 minutes. So that's the next step. Then I do a whiteboard activity where I'm talking about beginning, middle, ending sounds. And then I go back to either a workbook if I'm with an older student, or I'm going to teach a grammar trick if I'm with a student that has one workbook. I teach a grammar trick, like why does the letter C sometimes sound like K and sometimes sound like S? Well, I'll teach that. And that's in my videos too, if you'd like to see one of those in the modules. Look at all the modules. I've got modules 1 through 10 that go through all these. Then I'll go, if my student is a 5th grader or older, I would have started with the phonics workbook A. Then I'm going to go into my grammar workbook, which is B. Grammar workbook teaches a lot of the writing skills. Like I'll talk about the homophones, there, and there, and the homophone to, and to. I explicitly teach what the differences are, and I show you how to teach these. So that is the workbook for that. And then for that's step 8. Step 9 is when I give the child the spelling test with my app. Now, the app is free now. It's CDSM. It stands for Cintron Dyslexia Solutions with Music. You're going to have your headphones and you're going to play, well, you need like earbuds or something. Play music in the left ear, spelling exercises in the right ear. Now, if it's the first, second, or third day you're using the spelling list, sometimes I'll just ask the student just to write the beginning letter sound. If it's a more advanced spelling list, they'll write the beginning sound in the first vowel. And then when we do it again, I want them to listen, but they're only going to write the ending sound. And then eventually, maybe the 3rd time around, they're going to write the whole word. So I have words, lists that have consonant blends. So they will write, what's the like for the word smart, they'll put SM. The next time they write it, they'll put SMART. And, they'll do the blends. And then we have some spelling lessons that have syllables. So I'll have them write the first syllable. Another day, write the second syllable. And the 3rd day, they could write the whole syllable. But it all has to be structured, systematic, sequential. Now, it's cumulative because they're not going to forget what they've learned. We do a lot of repetition, but that's the beauty of it because dyslexic kids need a lot more repetition than your general ed student. So there's 9 steps to my reading program. And if you want to reach out to me and let me know of your financial needs, maybe we could work out a deal for you on my website. So I want to show you that in this kinder curriculum that I'm using with the student and also teaching, this is also follows the science of reading. We start with the picture, we say the letter name, sound, and then we say the letter name. And we always trace it for the preschoolers or kinder, not preschool, sorry. So then it's very multisensory. So the science of reading also wants very kinesthetic, hands-on kind of reading approach. So these cubes, hands-on, circles, colorful, hands-on. They're visually attractive and they're easy to manipulate when they're reading and they're hearing music. This is the multisensory program. Then we call them modalities. There's the hearing, the seeing, the hearing, the speaking, the tactile. When I'm speaking with my students, I want them to repeat what I say to get that practice of them using their oral language. So I want to show you this because I want to show you how it's sequential. It's structured, systematic, and sequential. We're going to show the child pictures of words that start with the letter T, the sound T, and they're going to circle all those pictures. Then we're going to have them identify pictures that start with T, and they're going to circle those. And this is a review. If they're not remembering, you're just going to make a note of what they're remembering and not. This is a real good heads up if kids could have dyslexia and they have weakened memories, but we're going to model for them. So when I teach with this book, I always have my copy and the student copy. Sometimes they have to see me do it before they'll do it correctly. And then they are writing their letters. So we're not going to have them write the letter before we give them some sound to picture exercises. That's where it's sequential. Now, sometimes if it's kind of overwhelming to do lowercase right after uppercase, I'll save this for day 2. But my student is advancing and now she's ready to go ahead and do the lowercase on the same day as she's doing the uppercase. So I'm really excited to see that growth. So then we had a page where we had to recognize the beginning sound and write the letter name. And this is very interesting because you'll see what they're remembering and what they're not. We do a lot of cutouts. So we had a door that was the door of a closet. We did a lot of activity, hands-on with dogs, big dog, little dog, miniature dogs. We did a lot of activities that should help the child remember these words and the letter names. And if they're not remembering, then again, just note it. So we have an activity where we're cutting out a lot of pictures, but we're only going to glue on the pictures that have the beginning sound as K. So that was fun. Now, this is really cool because this is kindergarten and they're introducing floss words. If a word has a double L or a double S or a double F, it's a floss word, or a double Z. Now, we have the word odd with a double D, and we also have ill with a double, we have odd. So odd's not a floss word, but it's in here because we did a lot of practice with it. And so this is the page where the child's going to find the word and draw a line to connect it to the picture that associated to it. Very fun. I'm telling you, when this is over, the student is amazed that we're having so much fun. So here we're going to make some tags, and we have a lot of cutouts. We're going to cut these words out and we're going to glue them onto the right tag. So fun. Let me see. I'm going to glue those words to the right tab. Then look at this. We have our first dot to dot. Now, these books are also, I go through all the lessons in my YouTubes. You can find them to help you with your child, but you have to purchase these either from the vendor or you can purchase them from me. And the links are in the text below. So with this uppercase T, these are all tops, of course, but we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So all the books have the color pattern that the child learns a song. So I'm going to give them a word from my word list. And if they hear the sound of T in the word, they're going to circle the T or circle the top. Do you hear T in tap? Circle the T, circle the top. Do you hear T in map? No, so they're going to put an X through the top. Do you hear T in time? Yes, so they're going to circle the top, and I'm going to say the yellow top. Do you hear T in lime? No, so this is structured, sequential. Now the systematic, the child sees the structure, there's a pattern there. They're going to recognize every book has the sound recognition. Every book has cutting out. I love it. So we have a dot to dot, and it doesn't just start with A and B. It's the mixed letters in here, the letters that the child has learned. Then we have a story. So we have a story where we have the child starting to see a picture and reading words that he has already learned. It's very cute. I also want to point out that this book has a story in it in the end. It's actually called, this is A Nasi and the Turtle Go to Dinner. Now, all my books for the kinder curriculum have been narrated, so you can find those on my YouTube. And I read from this cute little book, but I show you this book from the Read, Write, and Listen from, her name is Pleasant Rowland, okay? And it's from McGraw-Hill, if you want to order them from McGraw-Hill. But now I will often start my lesson with reading a book. In the beginning, I did phonogram cards or little picture cards, and we practiced beginning and ending sounds. And then also I would bring out my alphabet strip and have the child point, learn the letters and the location on the alphabet strip or the chart. But now I am very easily taking a book out that's going to be talked about here and introduce the lesson with it. So the book is very fun and animated. And now when you talk about systematic, is it going to matter if you read a book in the beginning of your lesson or at the end? It's not going to change what the child's learning if you read the book early. What I really like about reading the book early is in here, there is a comprehension page. So I can read the book, and then you design your own comprehension questions. And they're very easy for teachers to do. Every mom's a teacher, every parent's a teacher at your home. So of course, like the first one, is the turtle set in the table? Does the turtle have to wash her feet? Or does the turtle have to put on a jacket? So the obvious answer to this child is going to be the turtle has to wash his feet because the spider sent him to the bathroom to wash his dirty feet. So this is going to accomplish emotionally sound, the goal of being emotionally sound. The child feels like they're smart. They know the answer. So that's one reason I like to read the book first. Now, sometimes if the books are taking a little longer to get through, I will just pick another book that's going to be in maybe the subsequent book, read aloud. So I wanted to share that with you though, because the other reason is if the child's going to be doing a lot of reading here, it's a little bit more taxing for them to read the book again. So this book is really fun. We have the pictures that we're going to make sounds and have the child circle the sound, or we're going to describe a picture, have the child circle the picture we're describing. Then we have some words. The child's going to start spelling words with whether it's the vowel in the middle. You have to go to the individual book because they all show something different. And here we're going to have a turkey for tea. If you're doing this around Thanksgiving time, that's really fun because you can color the feathers and you can put the feathers around the turkey, the American holiday of Thanksgiving. So that's our book. But these little preschool books follow the science of reading. They're structured, systematic, sequential, cumulative, and emotionally sound. I want to be sure that you're aware of that. And when you're going about your day, ask yourself, is this something that's structured? Is it systematic? Is it sequential? Find out if your child's teacher is teaching a curriculum that follows the science of reading. I want to close with this. Many of you know what these are. These are child locks that we put on our cupboards. Now, would it make sense to put this on before I put the dishes away? No, I'm going to put the dishes away. I'm going to be sure the house is cleaned up before my granddaughter comes over, then put these locks on. Because in the evening when I'm cooking my dinner, I'm going to be taking them off, taking the pots out, putting them back on. So this is something that you put on after you put the dishes away. When my granddaughter leaves, I take them off. So there's a structure, but it is a system. It's a system of protecting the house so it doesn't all get torn apart when she's here, which is a crack up. Anyway, would you please like and subscribe if you haven't, and put your comments and questions down. Let me know what you have found in your home that follows a model of a system, which is structured and systematic, and what isn't structured and systematic. I'd love to dialogue with you and see what you're learning. Again, you can order my curriculum at my website, dyslexia-solutions.com. I've got packages and programs there. And please take a look at my other YouTubes, and I want them to help you this summer. Bye-bye now. Thanks for tuning in.